Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun Live. And yes, we are coming together today on what Christians around the world celebrate as Good Friday. And I wanted to read one of my favorite comic strips by Johnny Hart, who wrote The Wizard of Id. This is a standard. I love this. Anyway, I'm just going to read it. So you have two people. I'll show you the picture right here. Okay. You have two men sitting on a mountain, and the one says, I hate the term Good Friday. And his friend asked him, why? And he says, my Lord was hanged on a tree that day. And his friend says, if you were going to be hanged on that day and he volunteered to take your place, how would you feel? And he says, good. And his friend says, have a nice day. I love this cartoon. I just think it's just beautiful, and it just encapsulates the all the meaning attributed to this day on the Christian calendar. So anyway, welcome to Friday Fun Live, and I have a lot of fun things to show you. I dug up some vintage crochet to show you, to demonstrate the inspiration of the new design that's coming Monday. Yay! But before I do that, I want to go ahead and say hey to some of you in the chat who have been waiting so patiently. Angie, good morning. And she says, hope, good morning, all. Hope all have a happy Easter. Thank you, Angie. Wishing you the best as well. And Kelly Hart, thank you for joining us. I am doing very well by the grace of God today, despite the fact that my back went on vacation earlier this week and left me behind. It's back today. It was a quick heal. Lots of people praying for me. So, and it's all good at this point. So I'm just really thankful for that. And she says, I hope you all have a happy Easter. Thank you. Like the little bunny rabbit too. And Wanda Gordon says, good morning, Miss Bonnie and everyone. Praying that everyone has a blessed Easter. Thank you, my dear. You too. And love the craft. I want to say Haiti, like the smiley face. And Anne Marie says, I'm working on the Listoon Varna shawl and loving it. Yay. It's one of my favorites, actually. She says, may you and family have a blessed, happy Easter, and may Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, bless you with joy and peace. Amen, Anna. Isn't it great that we don't have to wait for a holiday for that, for your wish to come true? Because I feel blessed every single day that I can wake up and breathe. And Alana, happy Easter to you. Thank you for joining the chat. And all right, Kelly, sorry about your brother Matt while having surgery. I hope that goes well. That reminds me, I don't think Swati would mind me mentioning. Swati is actually, she's one of our crochet friends, and she's actually having surgery this morning. So if you all think of her and want to pray for her healing, that would be great. I don't know the details. I don't think we need to know the details. But we just know one of our own is suffering under the weather. So Swati, we're thinking of you this morning, my friend. And we have, okay, Dina. I'm not gonna read all of that. Dina. Well, good morning, Dina. Glad you could join us. And Jeannie, so good to have you in the chat, my dear. Happy Good Friday to you too. I hope you and your wonderful family are doing well. And Sandra says, good Friday, Bonnie, Hannah, and all my Yarny peeps. Thank you, Sandra. And Diane is joining us, says happy Easter to everybody. Yes, it's such a wonderful holiday. I like to say, if we didn't have an Easter, we would never have a Christmas. And let's see, we have Ekstrom in the chat from Sweden. Happy Good Friday to you too, my friend, all the way from way over there, way over and up there in Sweden. Oh my goodness. And Eve, welcome to the chat. Says many Easter blessings to you all. Wow. I promise you all, we're going to get talking to you about yarn in just a bit, but this is important. And Kim W., welcome to the chat. And Hannah, thank you so much for being there, my dear. Hannah's pulling double duty today. Thank you so much, Hannah. And if y'all can think about Hannah, just pray for her knees to get better. She's just experienced some pain. If we can just pray for her, if those of you who do pray. And M. Al-Sheikh, if that's how I'm saying it right. I'm sorry if I'm not. Happy Easter to you too. And Izzy's Crochet Bed says, hello, Maureen. told me to come visit your live. Well, Izzy, I'm so glad you did. We love meeting new crochet friends and knit friends too. We're not we don't limit our fiber friends to the craft. I promise you. We even have somebody, Beth, in our chat often, who is a cross stitcher. She does these beautiful cross stitch things. I mean, now that, if you talk about hard, that's hard. Takes a lot of concentration and a lot of eye work that I'm just really, really struggle with these days. So welcome, welcome. And Josie says, first time joining the live in a while. Happy to be here again. Hope all are well and happy Easter. Well, happy Easter to you too, Josie. Thank you so much and welcome back. And Hannah, welcome to you too. And I can't, maybe Hannah can translate the Arabic for us, but thank you so much for joining us. And Carol and the Corn Dogs. Oh my gosh, I just love that name. Says, have a happy Good Friday. Thank you, my friend. Love the little symbols there. It's wonderful. Um, and let's see. Oh, thank you, Hannah. Thank you. Thank you for interpreting that. Hannah says she loves our work. That's what those beautiful Arabic letters say. Oh, I think Arabic is just such a beautifully, written uh, transcript. It's just so elegant. It's like an art, I think. I just don't understand any of it, unfortunately. My brain doesn't do that. Um, Thanks again, Hannah. And Barbara, happy Easter to you too. And thank you, Ekstrom. She says, I hope it all goes well for Swati. Yeah, I do too. Don't we all? And Susie says, thank God it's Friday. Yes. Have have a good East. All have hope you have a good Easter working on a very soft, modern granny square baby blanket. Ooh, I bet that's beautiful. Even as traditional as granny squares are, there's unlimited ways of making those. And they can be so lovely if you don't mind hiding all those loose strands. And I don't. I really don't anymore. And Lynn, so good to have you in the chat. She says, thank you. Thank the Lord for you today, Sister Bonnie, and everyone. Thank you, Lynn. You're so kind. Still praying for you and your sister and her family, my friend. And see, where did it go? We just got a lot of comments load at the same time. Hold on. Yeah, Jesus Joy 7 says, happy Good Friday. I pray Bonnie, Hannah, and our community are doing well. Yes, that's what we hope, isn't it? And Phil, good to have you in the chat. I wonder where you are today. I hope you're close to home. I hope you can spend Christmas at home with folks you love this weekend. Yeah, and thank you, Extra, for checking in on Hannah there. And Lynn, thanks for checking on her too. And Barbara says, it's snowing here. She's our friend up in Alaska. She says they get snow in April, and says snow lasts for, April lasts for 6 months. So yeah, I hope you get to see the green grass soon, Barbara. If not, you're always welcome to come here. Kelly says, how do I take the advertisement off while watching and listening to your live? That's a good question. I think the only way to do that is to become a Prime member or whatever they call it on YouTube. But sorry about that, Kelly. But it's just part of the way this works right now, my friend. And Margita says, hello from Sweden. Yay. And Martha, joins us from Southern California. Wow. Thank you for joining us, Martha. And Izzy says she's doing diamond art. I looked at those at the store the other day. They really look interesting and beautiful. Oh, thank you, Ekstrom. She says she likes my shirt and my necklace. Thank you. This is actually the first time I was in South Carolina recently looking for a white linen shirt for the summer, and I found it at the Gap, and it was like a really good price. It was at the outlets, and I've never bought anything from that store. It will not be the last time I buy something from that store, let me just say, because I tried it on. I loved it. I bought 2 shirts. I loved it so much. I went back and bought a blue one, washed them both, and they fit great. They didn't shrink up like I was fearing. And really nice material. It's a little more expensive than your cheaper, $10 shirts. But that's just the price you pay for fiber, I think, just upgrading the materials that you're working with. And so I'm really looking forward. I'm hoping this will last me all through the summer because I plan on wearing it a lot, especially out driving around. Anyway, thank you. And I have to tell you that the necklace is a very special necklace. This is was given to me by my daughter Becky for a Christmas present, and it has sapphires in it. And let me read you a verse because um, I know I usually read towards the end, but I'm going to read this now. I need to find it, so I read it exactly as it is written. Um, okay, it's in Isaiah 54, verse 11. And again, this was during just a really tough time, really tough season of life. And I felt like the Lord gave me this verse, and it says, "O afflicted one, storm tossed and not comforted, behold, I will set your stones in antimony and lay your foundations with sapphires." And it goes on. This is Isaiah, and he was an Old Testament prophet. But anyway, so the idea that it was a really tough season. I won't get into all that was going on, but it, there was so much going on, including my mother and her ailing health, and trying to navigate children in college while homeschooling kids, and um, struggle with finances, whatnot. I mean, this was a while back, but I have clung to that. And my daughter got me a sapphire cross just to remind me, and I just really like it. And just thinking that one day, God has our back. And that's what I was hearing God say through this is, I have your back. You're going to be walking on gems someday. That's just going to be the floor you put your feet on. So hang in there. It's not going to be all that bad. So I kind of have an affinity for sapphires now because of that. I love emeralds too. I'm not soliciting from you guys, I promise, but um, I love emeralds because I love the green color. It reminds me of Ireland and things like that. But the sapphire reminds me of the scripture that is a promise. So anyway, really getting off on lots of topics today, but I will continue on here just for a little bit. I was reading about, where was it? Okay, I read that. Okay, I remember reading Izzy's comment about doing diamond art and got a little distracted there. Thank you so much. And thank you, Ekstrom, for your kind comment. And Phil says he's in Indiana today. Wow, Indiana. You can stop in and see my high school band director. And let's see, a retired editor of Crochet World lives in Indiana. I won't mention names or anything. That might be kind of weird, but yeah, Indiana. That's what that reminds me of. And thank you again, Ekstrom. And she says, "Ah, yes, it must be hot where you are, Hannah." Oh yeah, it's hot where Hannah is. um, it's at least probably 10 to 20 degrees warmer than where it is, what it would be here normally. But yeah. Um, and Michelle says she likes diamond art too. Yeah, I think those are really pretty. Sandra says, "When I'm not trying to crochet, I've done lots of diamond dots. Just finished a Hawaiian scene yesterday." Oh wow, that's great. And Ekstrom said about the shirts, I guess, yes, buy more of those. I love linen too. Yeah, yeah, I just really, really like their shirts now. Yeah, I generally haven't been in that store in the past, but I will go back. They have an outlet. By the way, there's an outlet off of 501 in it's kind of on your way to Myrtle Beach. Uh, that's where the outlets are. What are they called, Hannah? I guess Tanger Outlets. Yeah, off of 501 in South Carolina. Oh, thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Tracy, for your kindness there. We will start another fund towards. We're going to make it Shriners Hospital for Children, or $10. Thank you, Tracy. We will. Let me go ahead and put that down because I will forget. Otherwise, that's why I have a computer, right? Um, so we're going to do, yeah, we're going to, okay, we're going to do Samaritans, not Samaritans, Shriners Hospital for Children. So I'll go ahead and put that down. Give it a good start. All right. And thank you for your prayers, Jesus Joy 7. I appreciate that, especially since you're praying for my daughter. Um, okay. And Sandra Harper says she would appreciate prayer for her daughter. She has an exploratory surgery on Monday to hopefully finally find what has had her so ill for the last few months. Okay, we will write that down, Sandra. Thank you for letting us know. It's a privilege to do that. And Love to Craft says hello from a fellow Southern Californian to Martha. Oh, connecting. Yeah, great. Um, Hannah says it's about 76 degrees and breezy, but the heat has been on here in the house, and I don't like to bother the thermostat since it's not my house. It's a messy situation. Yeah, that's really hard because she's serving an elderly member of the family, and as some of you may have be experiencing even in life right now, your body's thermostat doesn't work quite as well as you age, and apparently when you're in your 90s it doesn't work very well at all. So it's very easy to get cold even though everybody else is hot. So that's kind of what Hannah is working with, but ever so patiently, and I know God is developing patience in you, my dear. um, and Felicia, good afternoon to you. So glad that you're here. Um, and Tracy Hamilton says, lurking here at work. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Warm here in, I guess, Oklahoma City, expecting lots of rain this weekend. Started working my garden this week. Good for you. Good for you. I don't even start planting flowers until mid to late May, just because I have been burned before by frost when I go too soon with the flowers here. So I will wait, but I really would look forward to getting some flowers in the ground so I can feed my dear friend. Yeah, we're gonna fight that battle once again this year. And Barbara says that Natic Mess 65 and sunny. Well, good for you. And Ekstrom says, oh dear Hannah, I understand that. And again, Tracy, thank you so much for your kindness there. And let's see. And Tracy says, happy spring, everyone. And Ekstrom says, lovely about having our backs. Yep. Um, yeah, okay. So, yeah, I'm trying to read through as much as I can. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and show you some things. We're going to start off with the booklet. The booklet, Celtic Crochet Shawls and Scarves, is now available on Amazon.com. It's wherever Amazon is. If you're in the UK, in Japan, uh, Germany, the book is only in English, but the book is available. This is the front, and I just wanted to show you the back. And the line won't be there that just says not for resale. This is just my sample copy. And there are a lot of full color photographs. Each design has where is it? Over here. Two QR codes, one for right-handers, one for left-handers. And I have tried to include as many as possible stitch diagrams where I felt that they were practical and helpful. I've tried to, and that's why if you see them and you see that they are separated, they're not all entangled, not in the traditional way that crochet stitch diagrams are written, and that's purposefully done. It's not that I don't know how to bring them closer together. I do, but I think it looks like mush when you do that. And I think it's really hard to tell the difference between a front post and a back post. So, and we are using red to denote that those are the stitches that cross on the surface. Okay. So trying to make reading stitch diagrams as easy as possible. Um, And if those don't help you, skip. Here's another one. Here's Dreams of Inishir Scarf. And here's one of the the stitch diagram for the main stitches there. So, I mean, they're not for the faint of heart, but if you're a visual person and that really does help you, go for it. If you're more a words person, we've got the words. And if you're a video person, we have the video. So we wanted to have, everybody's learning style covered as much as possible. So again, lots of full color pictures in here. There are a total of 10 designs. These are all previously released. And of course, this is the last one that was released just a couple weeks ago, the Phoenix shawl. And let's see. Yeah. So lots and lots, like I said, lots and lots of stitch diagrams as well as video tutorials for everything. You can get it on Amazon.com. I do not have my author copies yet. They are scheduled to ship and should be here next week. They have not arrived yet, but as soon as they arrive, I'm going to put them in my online Etsy store. And one more thing about these, I've shared this before. I'll share it again. All of the samples in the book are made using hand-dyed fingering or sock weight yarn. This is a number 1. This is a thin yarn. Okay. And this is, I love, the drape you get with that and everything. However, that said, if you're not a fan of working with fingering yarn, you're covered because most of these designs, this is the same design worked up in a worsted weight yarn. Now, of course, it's going to be a thicker, bigger product. You don't have to work as many rows if you don't want to. You can make most of these as long or as short as you want them. But, I made this one into a very nice stole. Thank you again, Hannah. She's the one who found this beautiful yarn. She found it at a thrift store somewhere. She loves to go thrifting. We all like to go thrifting. But anyway, so you can make this basically out of any size yarn. I would probably not go past worsted weight, honestly, because then you're getting into super chunky territory and you're kind of on your own there because that, you're going to end up with something like a coat. But if you want a coat, go for it. I wanted to also let you know, okay, going to shift to what's coming on Monday. Monday, Harriet's sweater wrap is coming. What is a sweater wrap? Sweater wrap is a long stole. This is the other side. And I'm going to stand up. I'm going to close this back. So you can wrap this a number of different ways. And when you turn this around, you have a longer back portion to keep all of you warm when you need to be kept warm. And this is really, really easy. It's very simple construction. It's just straight across stole with the back, and there's no sewing involved because you just crochet the added portion back on. And if you don't want the back piece, don't make the back piece. Just make that last row, all the white color and don't change back to the other colors. I wanted to show you some crochet that this is what inspired that. And these look old and these look worn. And I have some explaining to do about them. This is the shawl that inspired this project. And what's really neat about this cape is that they have openings here for your arms. I'll put it on. This reminds me so much of my mom, but even more so, I had a best friend in elementary school and until 7th grade when she moved away to Kentucky. And her name was Becky Stone. I lost her at the early, she passed away in a tragic accident at the age of 28. And it wasn't long after that that I became pregnant with my first daughter, and I really wanted to name a child after her, and I did. So that's who my daughter Becky is named for. But let me show you how this works, because it has openings here So many of you may have seen this project before. If you're if you remember those fold up patterns from the like early 1970s, these things that you would get in the mail. That's how I think my friend's mom got this. And she is now with the Lord as well. So, but anyway, so this is my mom's. I made it for her when I was maybe 10 years old. Let me see. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'd probably be around 10 years old because my best friend Becky wore one like this, a child size, and I just fell in love with it. And so I made one for my mom. And look at the wear on this. I don't know if you can see how worn this looks, but it's I really need to get that fabric shaver and work on it to get some of those little little fuzzy ball things off. And you can see the fringe. I didn't know how to cut fringe very well, so it's not real even. But this is a 10-year-old's project, and you can see I didn't finish finish this off very well. But it's just fun to look at. And here's a little strand, still hanging out. Oh well. Oh, I'll show you the worst part of it. Okay. Okay. So again, a 10-year-old. All right. I didn't have YouTube and was on my own for a lot of this. But my best friend's mom taught me how to read patterns. And so I was able to read at a pretty early age with crochet. And I'll show you some more. Um, Here's another one because this was okay, 19. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe let me do my age again. Okay, so this I must have made this one when I was about 12 or 13 because my mom wanted another one. And can you guess what year this might have been made? Um, this was actually made around 1975, 1976. Everybody in the United States was gearing up for the big bicentennial. Jimmy Carter, I believe, was president back then. And so I made one red, white, and blue. And not only did I make one for my mom, I made a child size. I mean, when I look at these, I think the buttons are so tacky, but it's just kind of fun now. And I made a child size for my baby sister, my little sister, who um, she was in elementary school. I don't know what grade she would have been in. Anyway, that's more math I really don't want to have to do right now. but but anyway, so just kind of a blast from the past. This is the original inspiration for this design. So I basically combined the stitch, the way these stitches are worked, and just made that into a sweater wrap. Kind of, I think, kind of freshen it up a little bit. And I also don't want to, be guilty of copying somebody else's work. I'm inspired by that work, but not, I don't want to infringe on anybody's copyright or anything. But if you all have ever made these, I would love to see your pictures of these, see what colors you picked. But yeah. Anyway, I just thought you might enjoy seeing that. I anyway, when my mom passed, I went ahead and I wanted to keep those just because they meant something special to me. Um, okay, and question from Eskimo Mama Linny. Will you be having a tutorial or pattern available for the blue chevron shawl? I'd like to make one for myself. Absolutely. It is coming on Monday. Now, if you are a watch subscriber, my watch channel is for it's a paid subscription, $7.95 a month or $79.50 a year, which is actually, a discount. You save 2 months worth of fees. It's already on the channel and the pattern is already there. Now, if you want to get the written pattern, it is available in my Lovecraft store and it's also available on Etsy. I don't think I put that link in the video description just yet. I'll try to remember to put it in later. But definitely the pattern is available. Now, the actual video tutorial, even if you buy the pattern today, the video tutorial is scheduled to release on Monday. So whenever you schedule the pattern, or I'm sorry, schedule the video like that, it will not be available until Monday. So just to let you know that the pattern is available, but the video, which has a link on the pattern, will be active starting Monday. Okay. I just don't want y'all to think that, oh, there's no, the video's not working. No, it will be working, but on Monday. Um, okay. Thank you, Hannah, for keeping me abreast of all these things. So did I say everything right about that? Okay, I think so. Now, speaking of the watch, my watch friends and subscribers, I hope you got my notifications. I did send one out yesterday. I haven't sent the link out yet, but I did send a notification that on April 22nd, that's next Tuesday, from 2 to 4, I'm going to be having a 2-hour class on introduction to broomstick lace crochet. Um, Many of you probably know what broomstick lace is, but if you don't, it's really, really beautiful. I don't have any samples to show you just yet. Um, and we're going to be using large knitting needles for this. Now, you don't have to go out and buy these. This is actually a little bit smaller than what I would normally use. Usually would use the size 25, which is size 50, which is 25 millimeter. Yeah, 25 millimeter size knitting needle. You really just need one. Or if you have like a 1-inch wide ruler, you can use that. And if you don't have any of those, you can always go back and use a broomstick. Here's my broom. You can use a broomstick. It's whatever that's about this size in diameter. So this would be really awkward to use, but this is where the name comes from, because I think that's what ladies used to use. Women used to use actual broomstick to make this kind of lace. It's a very easy kind of technique, and I want to show you a couple of variations on it, how you can change it up and do other interesting things with it. Um, it's a fun skill. If you've never seen it, come join us if you're a member of the Watch. And for those of you who might be interested in joining the Watch program, again, it's $7.95 a month, and you can sign up. There's a link in the video description below. And the classes are no extra cost, and there are many not a pattern for everything, but there are many patterns that can be just complimentary downloaded. So you don't have to worry about any extra, fees on any of the other things that I do. And there are lots of classes you can watch. There's a lot of content that's there that's more exclusive and that's not on my public channel. So just wanted to mention that. Another Zoom watch class that will be coming in May 13th. You're going to want to keep that day open. I'm going to have Jennifer Ryan come back. She's with Celtic Knot Crochet, and she's going to do a Celtic Knot workshop. Don't know what the project is going to be, but it's going to be different than the last one that we did, which was the little keychain that she did last year. Really beautiful too. It's this very unique technique that she uses in her designs. So she will be here in the Zoom class for Watch subscribers May 13th from 2 to 4. Excuse me. Oh, okay. So let me get back to the chat for a little bit, and then okay, we're doing okay on time. Then I have some other show and tell things to show you. All right, and a bunch of things just loaded. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, I think I found where I left off. And thank you, Wanda, for praying for Hannah. And Felicia, thank you so much for your prayers for everybody in the chat. And Tracy said, Shriners took care of my brother's massive hospital bill after his 5-month stay from a car accident. Broke his back in 3 places. Love those Shriners, God's helpers. Yes, yes. And we have a friend, Hannah said that Bobby is in the chat. Bobby has also been a patient with Shriners. And my mother-in-law, who is now 96, had polio not long after she was born. And that's years before they had the vaccine and all. And she was also a Shriners patient. She had many surgeries there on her leg. and foot. And again, all for free. She was, the daughter of a pastor who had many children. They didn't have a lofty lifestyle, and they took care of her. And a friend of ours, one of our moderators, Esther, has also been um, a patient at Shriners. So yeah, they are good. It's a good organization, and I want to help them more this year. Thank you, Sandra, for your prayers for my daughter. I so appreciate that. And Jesus Joy 7, yes. So sorry to hear about that in the Congo. Yes, we will certainly pray. Jesus Joy 7. Yeah, that is very tragic. It's not something that catches the attention of the world much, um, about many Christians being killed. Um, yeah, yeah. How good to know that they will be with their Lord. Um, yeah, and Martha says hello to Lovecraft. I love to craft as well. Yep, that's a good name, isn't it, Martha? And Jane says, Good Friday blessings to you all. Working on my morning project of Fall Enchantment by Bria Johnson. My afternoon project is Celtic braid sweater. Excellent. You got a full day, Jane. Thanks for taking time out with us. Um, and thank you, Sandra, again for caring for Hannah. And Tracy says, so brilliant that you include the tutorials. I wish every crocheter could do that. Yeah, but you know what? I will say, it's a lot of work. Yeah, I am happy to do that because I am a I am a visual learner, and I know there are a lot of visual learners out there that would have a really hard time reading all the minutia of words describing how to do these. And I just think sometimes a picture just replaces so much. And a video, whew, yeah, I wish we had video. Don't you wish we had videos in the 70s? Well, I don't know, maybe not, but I just think they're really great. I think it would have helped me understand biology a lot more. That we won't go there. But anyway, yeah, and thank you, Tracy. You're so kind. And Sandra, thank you. And Mr. Bobby Preston says, hello, it's me. Miss you. Got my nose pierced for my birthday on Tuesday. Ouch. Does it hurt? I hope it's healing okay. I've only gotten ears pierced in the past, and it did take a while for it to stop being sore. So I hope that goes well. Bobby, I'm thinking about you. Hope you're doing well, my friend. We need to connect again sometime. Um, and Tracy says to Sandra, I'm with you in visual. Yes. And thank you, Jesus Joy 7, again for your kind prayers. And Marina, thank you for your kind comment. And Nessa says, I'm currently working, but stopping by to say hi and watch a bit of the live stream. Well, thank you for joining us, Nessa. I hope things are going well for you. Um, oh, thank you, Jesus Joy 7. You are so sweet for your kind comments there. Uh, and okay, I missed something. I'm sorry. For your birthday. Okay, I missed that, Bobby. I'm sorry. I just read it and the brain just didn't connect. Sorry about that. Well, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. I need to put you on my calendar. Um, okay, thank you, Hannah. Um, yeah, well, happy birthday, my friend. Um, belated birthday. Lots of birthdays in April. My baby was born in April, my youngest son. Um, he has a birthday, and yeah, lots of birthdays this month. And let's see. Thank you for. I don't know why I didn't see that right away. And Barbara says, I'm using Lion Brand fisherman's wool and a K hook with brown and off-white yarn. The ripple looks like cake and vanilla ice cream. My ripple is relaxed. I love it. That sounds really nice. I made a sweater with that yarn years ago, and it's rustic yarn. It's definitely a little bit, yeah, it's not super soft, but it's, I think, very good yarn. And I really liked the stitch definition that you can get from that Fisherman's Wool by Lion Brand. Um, And that's one of my first times I actually used wool because it was before I ventured into these boutique yarn stores and got lost. um, anyway, uh, da, 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 da. What happened to my feed here? All right. And let's see. We have Martha Kelly and Eskimo Mama. Wow, that's a great name. And Ellen's Crochet says, "How precious that you have these sweet memories." Oh, absolutely. And Martha says, "I love capes. Aren't capes great?" Um, I just can't even see that chevron without thinking of my mom. Even when I'm looking at the one behind me, it just reminds me of her, and it reminds me of my friend too, but more so my mom. Um, and Nessa says, "I would love to make one with the slits like those. I'm so glad you kept them." Yeah, I might have to do something different. Actually, there's a cape. Um, I posted it in a video. It's in a video that I released yesterday on my dye lot disaster, where I go into detail explaining why I'd released the earlier video of ripping out this entire panel using my Stanwood ball winder. Because a lot of people are like, "Oh, the stitches look fine." Oh, the stitches were fine. It's just that I discovered when I got my digital photography and bright lights in play that the ball of yarn that I started at the very beginning, which was the last, yeah, at the very bottom, was a different dye lot and it was much darker. And oh gosh, with the camera and the digital and the bright lights, it stood out like a sore thumb. So there was no getting around having to completely redo that panel. There was no other way around it, and especially since it's a sample. It's a sample to photograph for an upcoming design. You can't wing it, if you know what I mean. So anyway, in there I did show a cape which looks a lot like the Wheatfield cape, which is a shorter cape. It's a kind of a mustard yellow. It's on my channel. You can see that, and it's a nice cape. And I close it with uh, leather closures down the front. And the original prototype was more like the cape that I showed you, and it did have the opening for the arms just like that, but it was very different stitching. So if you all think that would be something that I could do, I mean, I might try making another one, but with different stitches and then with the arm openings. I think that would be kind of classy looking. I would maybe want some really nice cables, coming down with that. I might have to look into something like that again. But thank you for Nessa, for that prompt on that. Um, and Holy Hummer. I like that. Do you have a Hummer? um, that's cool. I don't know if that means singing, humming, or vehicles. I like cars, so I immediately thought of a Hummer. But anyway, says beautiful bicentennial sweater. Yeah. Everything was red, white, and blue back in the day. I even used that same yard to make a granny square bikini and a matching cover up. Never wore it to the beach. I promise you, I would not dare. I did not trust the material. But anyway, moving right along. Um, Barbara says, I love diagrams, and your work is very easy for me to use. Yay! A quick glance, and I know what to do. Ah, phew. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, we try really hard to make these error proof, but sometimes it's just hard to escape being human. And but yeah, I'm glad that you can understand them easily. um yeah. Oh, thank you, Nessa. um Thank you, and Racine, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all's support, joining the watch channel. Again, no pressure. I know the economy is not what we want it to be these days, and so I totally get that. I know, income's down, expenses are up, or at least that's what happened with tax day this past week. Oh, by the way, look, both arms and both legs are still attached. Bank account cleared out, but we survived tax day, so thank you. I'm so thankful I didn't have to go into debt to pay taxes. So we try to be careful about that, but you never know how that's going to swing. So really glad to have gotten through that. I hope the rest of you guys are doing well with that. But yeah, I mean, I feel your pain. I mean, it's uh no pressure. I don't like to pressure anybody about anything. And that's why I want to talk about these patterns even with the the hand dyed yarn, which is wonderful to work with. But I get it. If you can't afford that, use what you have. Don't miss out on a design that you might enjoy just because you don't have the right kind of yarn. As long as it's not a like a shirt or something that has to fit to a T, you can experiment and you can change up the yarn to whatever you want to do, especially shawls and scarves and things like that. There are no rules in my book. There are no rules of what you have to do. This is a creative art form, so you do what you want. Um, and Nessa says, did you actually have more yarn of the previous dye lot that you used for the beginning of the project? That happened to me with the blanket. I ran out of the Red Heart Super Saver. Actually, no, Nessa, I don't know what happened. I think I was packing. The yarn that I used for this other project of that red, they were from Lovecrafts and they didn't do anything wrong. I did something wrong. So what happened is they were in packs of 10 and I packed them and they were all the same dye lot. But then I thought, oh, I might need a couple extra just in case. So I pulled a couple more out of the bin, not realizing that I had put some red balls of yarn from a previous design in there from an Afghan. And I didn't realize it was different, but I didn't take the time to check. And so I mean, it was all my fault. It was all my fault. I didn't follow my own rules as far as checking dye lots. I mean, I did say there are no rules as far as making something with different size yarn. Now, the rule about dye lot, not following the dye lot, that's a painful one to break. Don't break that rule. Um, Always check the dye lots. Always, always, always. And let me say a word about that because I got an excellent question from somebody on that other video about dye lots. And she said, what if I order from a company? She said that she's ordered from Amazon. Someone said they've ordered from Amazon and the dye lots oftentimes don't match. Well, if that's the case, don't buy from Amazon because you know the people packing this stuff from Amazon are not crafters. Now, if you order from Webs or Lovecrafts or anybody like that, what you can do is there usually is a special place for special instructions from you, the seller, and you can say in all caps, whatever, please be sure all the dye lots match. Just remind them if you need to. I've never had to do that. And I've never had a problem with them sending me because I get so much at one time and it's always the same dialogue. There's always a chance that somebody working there will not know that, not understand it as well as we do, and it will get them mixed up. If that happens to you from Lovecrafts in particular, because I like that company, they're not paying me to say that, but I do have affiliate links with them. And if you don't have a good experience, let me know because I will contact them for you. Um, but you don't have to go through me. Okay. Go back to them and just go to customer service and say, hey, the dye lots don't match. And I promise you they will make it right. And if they don't, you let me know and I will I will get onto it. But just because that's just what they should do. And that goes for, Webs or Yarn Doc, just any of those places that you order online. I think you're more apt to get them all the same dialogue. But again, I'm harping on this, but I'm going to harp again. Put a little special note in your online order. Make sure they all match. And so, and must clarify too, because I'm all for, buying local, supporting your local stores and whatnot. But the reason I buy a lot of yarn online, because oftentimes I'll need like 4,000 yards that are the same dye lot. There's no way you're going to find that many in a store. I used to work at Michael's many years ago. I used to stock the yarn. And I will tell you, rarely do you get 10 of the same dye lot. If you can find 10 of the same dye lot, it's like hitting the lottery. I don't do the lottery either, but anyway, so um, yeah, dye lot is a big deal. And there's a video. You can see that shawl that I made that was a prototype to the wheat field caplet, and you can see the striping in the color. It's supposed to be all the same color, but you can see bold stripes of the differences in the colors. And I promise you, my naked eye did not see that. It wasn't until I was actually photographing it with my big lights on, and I'm like, oh no, the entire thing was just a wash. And I couldn't use it to submit, for magazine designs or anything. I had to, I just got so discouraged. I just packed that thing away, until I had a chance to redo it with the wheat field. But anyway, um, okay. So Nessa's story said, that happened to me with the blanket. Yeah, I ran out of the Red Heart Super Saver. It was Red Heart Super Saver. I tried to buy more. I learned that now the type of Red Heart has a different die lot numbers. The new skeins I bought then at Joann's were much lighter and washed out. And she says she was able to finish the blanket, but after almost half a year of searching, she found newer skeins of different dye lot that was much more vibrant. So she finished the blanket, even if it wasn't exactly the same, but not as bad. Yeah, I mean, some people won't even notice, but I will notice. You'll probably notice. I mean, once you see it, like once you take a photograph and you see it, you can't unsee it. Um, so anyway, I'm blabbing on and on about that, but definitely be careful. Well, let me go ahead and I will get back to the chat in a bit, but I want to show you some things that I got this week. Um, Summer is coming, and I thought I need to do some smaller, fun things. So if you see uh, I may, not everything has to have cables, obviously. I mean, I like doing different things. So I have some ideas in mind, inspired by by a couple of antique doilies. Actually, I'm not going to copy it exactly, but it's going to look similar. It's going to inspire me. So I saw this. It's funny. I went looking for this yarn. This is Mandala Baby. This is one of my favorite kinds of yarns. I couldn't find it at Joann's, and they didn't have it at Michael's either. So I ended up getting my yarn. I mean, I hit the gold mine at Walmart this week, of all places. So I'm thinking a baby blanket in this, and I love the name of this. Hannah, you're going to love this too. The colorway is called Narnia. So I think of C.S. Lewis and the Chronicles of Narnia. So that'll be coming at some point, probably sooner rather than later. Um, I have never used this before. Super Saver Biddy Stripes. They had some interesting colorways that, they look kind of nice. It's kind of like a washed out summery look. So we'll see. I might come up with some easy, I don't know, have to wait and see. But I just thought, that's worth, $7. And I saw this, and it just reminded me of summer, and it looks so fresh, and reminded me of the green grass of spring too. So I'm thinking maybe some dishcloths be coming, maybe some that feature, easy to learn new stitches on them. So who doesn't need a couple freshened dishcloths for their drawers and their kitchen? I know I do. Um, all right, and by the way, if you do make dishcloths, make sure you make it out of 100% cotton. Don't try doing those. You can make them out of acrylic, but they will not last the first washing. Okay. Now, I hadn't been here since like October, so I went back to my friends at Knits and Pearls. This is I'll give you the address. 816 Muddy Branch Road in Gaithersburg, Maryland. So they're not too far from me. And they're far enough to where I have to plan time to do it, but not so far that I have to pack a cooler. So, and they have this special yarn that is unique to them. Okay, let's see if I can get them out of the bag. Here we go. And let's see, I'll give you the price points on this too, because these are not cheap. Okay, so these are $26 each. These are DK weight, and here are the colors I got. I'll read you the makeup of these because this is really interesting. The content: 50% merino eco wool, 50% organic hemp. So it has a little bit of, I don't know if you can see it, but a little bit of fuzzy kind of texture to it. And it's not super soft right now. It's a little soft, but I am told that with washing, this becomes extremely soft. And the hemp is like a cotton, strong cotton. And I'm thinking a top. I'm thinking a summer top. So I'm thinking a yoke with the blue and the bodice green. And I think trimmed with the black to provide stripes. So don't know what this is going to look like yet, but this is just kind of a vision I have for this. Did I give you the yardage on this? I think I did, but maybe I didn't. 262 yards. And again, this is a DK weight. So I'll probably use an H hook on this, which means it'll, have fewer stitches than if I were using fingering weight yarn. We'll see. We'll see what I can do with this. So this is just something that I'm thinking of for the summer. Um, and again, this is kind of a trial for me. I've never used this yarn before, and I will give you an honest estimation of it once we get going. Um, again, I paid for the wool. I paid for this, so I can say what I want with it, right? Nobody's paying me. I am paying them. So I like to be upright and honest. To date, I've never worked for a yarn company. Um, haven't had many offers, probably because they know I'm going to be honest about it. And I'm not going to work with junky yarn. That's just not the way I roll. Yeah. Anyway, so I have some other things I need to tell you as well. Some newsy things. Um, I will be at a book signing at the Maryland Sheep and Wool. This is coming up really fast. Will be May 3rd. Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival is in Howard County at the fairgrounds in Maryland. I'll be there from 12:30 to 2, and I'll probably be walking around afterwards, just checking out, vendors and maybe doing some shopping. Maybe, particularly what I'm going to be doing this year is looking for buttons because since Joann's has pretty much been cleaned out, they're my main source of buying buttons. So if I see some really rockin' buttons, I'm going to get them. So I'll probably be looking for that more than I will yarn. Also, two festivals that are coming up in addition to that, Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival, August 22nd through 24th. It'll be here before you know it. I'm going to be teaching 4 classes there. One is just doing crazy things with denim and crochet, transforming denim with crochet. I'm also going to be teaching a class on making a technology watch band for your iWatch, if you have those or something similar. I'll be teaching a class on different ways to do ribbing and one other class. I think it's the Celtic weave. Is it the Celtic weave class? There's another class on cables. I'm not sure which one it was. It's not coming to mind. But anyway, August 22nd through the 24th. Sign up will be opening May 1st. Right now, you can go to, I do have a link for them. You can go to their link and you can look at the classes that are coming up. Now, if you're all good on cables and stuff like that, and you want to do something different, you want to learn how to knit, they have knit classes. They're going to have quilting classes. They're going to have spinning classes. They're going to have jewelry making classes, all sorts of things. And 3 days worth of whatever. I mean, you can take up to 6 classes in those 3 days. If you've got the money. But also, this is one of the more, this is one of the lowest cost places that I have seen great classes. So I just want to let you know, Pittsburgh is a great place to visit. If you come to Pittsburgh and you can stay an extra day or so, check out, was it Falling Waters? That beautiful house is only about an hour or so away from Pittsburgh. You can get tickets online and, go check out Falling Water. It's a beautiful, beautiful historic architectural masterpiece to visit. You won't regret it. Um, October 23rd through the 25th, I am planning on being at Prince Edward Island Fiber Festival in Charlottetown, at the Delta Hotels Prince Edward, 18 Queen Street in Charlottetown. That's on Prince Edward Island up in Canada. So really looking forward to that. It'll probably be the end, kind of towards the end of the fall. So I'm hoping we'll be able to see some foliage, and enjoy that and meet some of my Canadian friends. So yeah, check it out, please, 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 please. And I think that's all the newsy stuff. Let me just check um, the group chat here. Oh, thank you, Barbara. She says the workmanship is well done. A beautiful blast from the past about the shawls, I guess. Yeah. I tell you what, it was so funny because my mom, she wore those everywhere we went. Um, so anyway, and let's see if there's anybody I have missed. Oh, we have Archer Nace. Terry, so glad to have you in the chat. And as soon as I read that, everything jumped about a mile. Um, says, I'm working on a calico cat granny square from an old book. God bless you. Happy Easter. Oh, I would love to see. Send me a picture of it when you're done. I would love to see it. And if anybody has, a picture they want to send me, it can be of my designs or not. It doesn't have to be my work. I love sharing your crochet, on social media. I just like to ask for permission. But thank you all for those who send pictures in. I love sharing them. I love to see that the patterns are working for you. That blesses me. Um, and Barbara says, "Oh, the watch channel is worth it. I use it every week. I am forever practicing cable crochet." Well, thank you for that endorsement, Barbara. That means a lot. And Archer Nason says to Hannah, "I'll send a photo when it's done. Then I'm going to work on a hill far away again, 3 times the charm." Ugh, wow. I hope that works out for you. That is kind of swimming with sharks a little bit, I guess. Um, and Ekstrom says, I'd like a cape like that. So yes, please. Okay, got it, Ekstrom. Um, and Nessa says, oh no, did you actually have more yarn of the previous dye lot that you used for the beginning of the project? Yep. Yep. She said that's happened to me before. I ran out of the Red Heart Super Saver. Yep, that's exactly what I did, Nessa. And thank you, Jesus Joy 7, for she says, I pray everyone has a very happy Easter, Resurrection Sunday. Stay safe. Blessings to all. Thank you so much. That means so much. Um, and Nessa says about the dialogue. Oh, no. Yeah, I wouldn't have checked. I usually forget. And I really need to be more careful about that and check it with each project. The dialogues were off for Cardigan. I just finished Lion Brand Mandala. Ugh, yeah. And I will say too about the hand dyed yarns, you have to be careful with those too because they're not mechanically dyed. So they might have like a batch number on them. They were all in the same batch, and that's your best bet. But sometimes you can even alternate from different uh, hanks, one then the other, one then the other, just in case there are some differences in there. Yeah, I need to talk about that more sometime. But the hand dyed yarn is a whole nother kettle of fish, as they may say. And Eve says, this is something I learned the hard way. Bless you, Bunny. Hopefully, folks are taking note on this live. Yeah, well, there is a video I want you to check out, and you can actually see the differences in color, and you can see why I ripped out the red because you'll see the dark red and the light red side by side. Um, and Michelle says, dye lot is never something I thought to check when buying multiple skeins of the same color. So I appreciate the video. Yes, ma'am. See, my problem is I think about it when I get the yarn and buy the yarn, but then when I'm using the yarn, I just assume they're the same, and I will never do that again. I will always check, and then I will probably have to seclude the ones that are not the right color into a different room. Actually, that's what I did. As soon as I discovered it, I wound that one off, I cut it, and then I put it out of reach, out of sight, out of mind. So I will not even come near me as I redid that panel. Um, And Nessa says, very good point, Bonnie, especially for a big project like a blanket. That's one of the reasons I like to buy Afghan kits from Hershingers, Mary Maximum, where it has the pattern, all the yarn. Yes, and they know yarn. So they should is the key word here, have them all the same dye lot. I would still double check. I would still double check the kits. Never had any problems. I haven't had one of those kits in years, not since I was in college, but definitely check. Um, and she says, I will need to verify before I start any of those kits. She just said the same thing. I'm sorry, I didn't read that. I should have read further. Or the new ones I buy or I have bought, that all the yarn they include is the same dollar. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I should have kept reading, Nessa. Yes, you're on it. You're all over it. Historically, Red Heart Super Saver didn't have dye lots. Yeah, some of them didn't. The one thing that didn't have dye lots, I don't know if they do now or not, are the 1-pounders by Caron. I've used those several times for my throws, and that yarn is fine. Um, it's just hard to get enough of the same color. But yeah, I think those also are pretty standardized as well. But that is definitely the exception to this. Yeah. So, well, I need to see if there's anybody else that I haven't greeted here. I do need to get going. I do need to release Hannah. So I am going to I wanted to read something to you, and so I can release my moderator here. But this is again Good Friday, and I wanted to read the words to one of my favorite songs. It's a very popular song. Fantastic words written by Stuart Townend and Keith Getty. I remember years ago, both of these gentlemen came to our church, and it was just wonderful and it was around the time when this was first released. So it's just really great to have seen this song do so well. But the reason it, I think, has done so well is because it's just meaty with truth. So I'm going to read the words to In Christ Alone. In Christ alone, my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are stilled and strivings cease. My comforter, my all in all, here in the love of Christ I stand. In Christ alone, who took on flesh, fullness of God and helpless babe, this gift of love and righteousness, scorned by the ones he came to save. Till on that cross, as Jesus died, the wrath of God was satisfied, for every sin on him was laid. Here in the death of Christ I live. There in the ground his body lay, light of the world by darkness slain. Then bursting forth in glorious day, up from the grave he rose again. And as he stands in victory, sin's curse has lost its grip on me. Amen. For I am his and he is mine, bought with the precious blood of Christ. No guilt in life, no fear in death. This is the power of Christ in me. From life's first cry to final breath, Jesus commands my destiny. No power of hell, no scheme of man can ever pluck me from his hand till he returns or calls me home. Here in the power of Christ I'll stand. So I just want to wish you all a wonderful Good Friday, a blessed Easter, and I hope to see you here next week. So remember, today is Friday, but Sunday is coming. God bless. Bye-bye.